to take that passive control as well as the tail holding on towards A, but the B is where they strike first, Pacific, and they've already got that entry kill.
Same positions taken up by Pacific as they did on the last pistol round. On the attack side, when they creep back towards A again, it's Cider X there waiting for them. Big 1v1 about to happen in the middle of the map, but as Larocque gives it up, he's walking into trouble. Brave's coming around the back lines as the plant comes in.
Loiter tapping the spike on A, was able to TP past the trap, but can't TP past Izzy. Comeback now gone. Larocque and Loiter on the B site. Two players close by from Eternal Fire, trying to see what they can find, but not a lot. Spike is down.
Didn't see a single B retake in the previous game between the two. BBL Pacific on the attack side, starting off as they did before, but smoked out towards Waterfall. This is Eternal Fire's chance.
Paranoia in, that's been kept in pocket the full round. Loiter's trying to play aggressive, and while Brave is round the back, Anima from
whichever side of the map it ends up being. Typically C, they've exploited that now. Back through the door, instead it's the Fire that will go. Kushner put down immediately, it's on to Brave, he's got to do so much, but Loiter cuts it out for him. 5 versus 2 situation, this is a BBL bonus converted.
Looks to be last two players. I mean, Anima, Cider, do they even want to attempt it? You've got to be thinking about the next couple rounds upcoming. I mean, BBL Pacific, they're looking to take things on the front foot. That's 3 players towards that CT side.
You can already see how snappy they've been to try and take early engagements. Eternal Fire will walk away from this with just the one weapon for now. They are rapid in pace.
Loiter towards CT,
Brilliant.
the Rolling Thunder. Just making sure Izzy's moving into an uncomfortable position, capitalisation, and now Brave, you can see he's thinking about it. He wants to go at this, his TP isn't great, Kushner's op is back to a 4 versus 4 as the spike goes down.
Nice set piece to open up the site for them. Loiter going for the Vanya TP, but his aggression unrelenting. Another Turkish legend, yet he falls in this situation. Combo back through, big investment Eternal Fire. They need this round, and while Rose dropping is certainly going to help them, still a 2-on-2. Kreven's flipped the odds against them once more. The biggest rival that they've faced in the server so far, biting from within. Kreven.
Pacific just trying to dabble with the idea of perhaps going under the trip, but as they go onto site, it's the Sheriffs that are hitting. Kushner is up close, Showstopper in, and then Kuruin somehow manages to stay alive. That's the shorty. Hat off the head, information gained. Larocque just playing around in hell.
So cautious in this position. Eternal Fire still with numbers. TP into the crosshairs. Kreven once more. 3 kills out of him, and well, I think you look at the VOD, he won at least 2 rounds solo last time out. They're going to rely upon him here to win them what would be 3 out of the 5 that they've picked up so far. This
Comes
to make
back online.
6 and to send Anima packing. The key 1v1s that they went up against each other yesterday. Kreven with the majority of those wins. He can add another one.
Through B main. And well, Anima tries to spam out, delayed through the aftershock. The breach bomb doesn't quite work. His comeback is sending it through. Kreven under siege, can't quite win out against Brave. And now BBL Pacific are in a tough spot that they'll need to try and brawl out from. It's Rose using the Hunter's Fury, but it's the Overwatch of the rest of the BBL Pacific players. Trying to hold on to the Paranoia as a way to fight his way back through, but being stunned up. I don't even know if he'll be able to TP, he won't. That's it. He didn't want to go out in the open, tried to roll his chances, it doesn't work out. Onto the A side, all of Pacific go.
Cider's immediately flooding back through, loses his life for the cause, and now Eternal Fire stunted on their way back through. It's not the first time we've seen around the beginning to this day in the office that they would have liked, and something's got to change. Comeback is consistent. Anima decapitated, Loiter laying it on thick as Cider will finally respond with just 1 kill, but that will not be enough. He needs more and can't get it.
Larocque is deposited for a late luck elsewhere on the map, whether that comes...
Go for another execute.
3 players from Eternal Fire here, and they've got the first 2 picks as well. A TP from Brave will support the cast that's there. You can see Loiter going to use one of his own, and that's to collect the spike. It's a quick pivot towards B, and Kreven's here as well. Doesn't have utility to work with, Kreven, but he does have the rifle which he has been shooting with.
Oh, Kreven missed shots. That could have been the way back into the round and decrease the deficit. It was a 5v3 when it started. Eternal Fire lost one of those on their bonus last time out, but here, surely not between Rose and Loiter.
I mean, I wouldn't count them out though. Pings coming through, information gained, and Loiter, once again, a player who was able to clutch up last time, and ace, but it's only... This has been brought unbelievably low. Brave looking to try and get something, and gets more than what is expected. And now the showstopper, and can't even get shot off. We're back to a 3 versus 3.
Another one strong from the gallows. It was a 5 versus 3, Cairo. Again, 2 rounds consecutive. And that's what it will take for BBL PCIFIC to potentially lock in 12.
Deep in the hearts, straight in towards the B site they go. And they're not able to get the entry pick either.
To just pull a quote, as you were saying, CyderX said before the upper final that ships waiting for the perfect wind never sail. Kreven, one of the players who's been so key in landing the first 12 rounds, responded, they're still waiting for the wind after that game. And I tell you what, might just find themselves waiting to find their first round when Split arrives. BBL PCIFIC getting ready to go aggressive. The spike is here and so are the players. Eternal Fire finally respond through QT and Anima, but it comes down to the captain to deny what will be an embarrassing first map performance in this grand final.
Another thing to note, Comeback still has the slide from Neon to work with, but a double stack, and trying to dismantle that for Cider is a hard ask. Both players aren't looking towards him though, Hazza.
And that might just be the gift that Cider requires, the double stack, but do they react? Timing is everything, and BBL PCIFIC, their time is now! 13-0 was all it took. Hey, there isn't a comp with Sentinels in front, let's be direct.
And straight in, they've got the first pick, nothing else that can be said about that. Spike will go down easily enough. BBL PCIFIC though in the meantime, well that spike goes down, the post plan is set up, are looking to look towards the extremities of the site.
And with this change to Omen, you have that paranoia as well. You're not thinking as much about the post plant. You probably want to try and get a little bit aggressive. Already you see Brave walking up screen.
Loiter needs to be careful, comes straight up and wins the fight. So does LaRock. That was the Breach player that was playing from main for late utility to support the site when it came through. As the players hit the site though, they're getting hit hard with bullets, but they can hit back even harder. Something that has been spoken about from many people. LaRock was caught by a trap, by the way.
LaRock's got the nade on a quick rotation. Paranoia's there. BBL PCIFIC to hold their ground.
Kushner has got towards the backside, and those players who were blinded, not anymore. We ever seen back-to-back 13-0s?
Don't. You're not allowed. And Izzy at the very least wins that first engagement, which now recalls the attention of BBL PCIFIC towards the A side of the map. Quick one-way put up by Cruin. Opens up the cage. But Eternal Fire advancing, and swiftly, Kreven safe pair of hands. And Loiter, a lick of damage onto Anima. Hadn't finished, no! Pistols clap back all of a sudden. Eternal Fire have numbers! They have a 3 versus 1! Larrick is stunned inside the smoke, and while the flick lands for the first, the nade is so key to get that second kill, it misses.
Late win condition coming in from the Cypher Hazza, but LaRock needs to get this first pick first.
He needs the information. Looks back for Izzy, checks both ways, crept round the corner, still yet to be spotted. His head finally pokes out. Outlaw, shot hits. Only 10 HP though. Still a chance for LaRock. Bated breath, he peeks round the corner. Next player hit is Izzy. Last one off for Anima! In tow. Eternal Fire with mid-space, something they've not encountered all too often. But now in trying to marry the ideas together, BBL PCIFIC go flying into their face and manage to break one of the arms of that push in the process.
Massive information though. They know the aiming is clear, where the rest of the players could possibly be. And look at this, Loiter has even gone and found one player in Garage. The 2 players moving through heaven need to be able to get a pick here.
Tower push coming in, they've relied on Brave in Garage a lot of times so far, but Kushner can finally stand up and be counted. Another retake which BBL PCIFIC come into at a numbers disadvantage, but that hasn't seemed to be a problem so far today.
Showstopper available for Kushner if he really needs it. Has 2 flashes as well for Anima.
Nade on Larok is the one bit of utility that could get you excited, and that's because it's played in comeback. Op shot lands. Brave's thinking about a peek. Has to hold his nerve. Loses his head in the process instead, and it's another Anima clutch situation. Thrust into this position, forced to face the music, finds the first of the kills and on to comeback. He has won this duel before. Through Garage, as you can see, Kreven and Loiter both pushing up. Rose needing impact, getting it. The captain doing what he does best, leading by example. While the crunch is going to come in and remove him from the situation, the flank is swiftly arriving and the numbers are equal for now.
Look where Eternal Fire are going though. There's a Cypher towards CT. Your comeback knows about it.
It's a 1v1. He goes for the no-scope into the next fight. Classics burst against each other. And as they lock horns, it's on to Loiter once more. Extra information. Izzy was the only player here, so a chance to isolate. Anima supporting elsewhere. The stun's still not enough. Rose going down solo, but has brought a big opportunity for his two duelist players. Only one can capitalize. That will be comeback, but even his best effort falls short of the mark. So Eternal Fire go into post with numbers.
Tries to commit to the way that BBL PCIFIC have been playing Loiter.
Hello.
Behind Kushner. And we're back to 2v2. The ultimate invested from the Teho. And Kreven somehow escaped it. Escaped the line of sight of Sider as well. In a 1 versus 2. There's 2 TPs which Loiter can perhaps use himself, but no, would rather play the 2v1. Play with his teammate. They've cleared all the way to elbow and got onto the spike. Already halved. Loiter looks away and allows Sider a chance. This will be the information that they're looking for. Kreven towards that elbow. Paranoia placed to perfection, and Kushner doesn't get the chance. The combination from the side player and the Heaven player is spot on. 2 players left on Eternal Fire. Anima being one who's able to usually duel.
With the Dogs investment this time, Kushner trying to leapfrog it. Rose should have been ready, but Kushner claims a similar fight. Larok will retain the ramp control at the very least, so strong position for BBL PCIFIC to try and convert in post. Do Eternal Fire go searching again, or will they get punished? Do they get a chance? Izzy snipes him out the sky.
And Rolling Thunder investing straight off the bat. They're looking to play in towards CT and come back. I mean, he's only got 1 back. Needs more. Certainly looks to be able to do this. Dashes back up online. And Anima doesn't want anything to do with this in towards CT. There's rifles to pick up, which would be much more favourable at close range.
Both initiators in a 1 versus 2 again, and Cider salvos will be coming up for Eternal Fire. With tower already taken away, they're closing in from both ends. Loiter to come in late, but for now, the site must stand. Comeback collecting the first of those kills, and behind the cage, the rest of the team get inside. Loiter finding another double, and while Eternal Fire will respond, they know the op is advanced here. The showstopper over the top, finding him, still needs to isolate Kreven. The discipline. Oh, Kushner clears it! He just had an idea that the Cypher might be creeping around. The trick's too well. 5v3. And now that Izzy has his vision back, Eternal Fire are back. 5 players in Garage. There is a reaction for this with utility.
Again, we've seen Eternal Fire play these traps before. They haven't worked, but it looks like this one is. Nade in, can it get Kreven? Well, Cider certainly can. Already a distinct advantage and having to rescue back a spike. Anima's pushing forward. I think we can confirm that Eternal Fire will finally have a pistol round. And what was something like 7, now the 8th. 1 and 8 is absolutely incredible numbers to think about.
This is exactly what Eternal Fire needed, though. The pistol previously was a flawless win for given that information back. 30 seconds or less to try and get this one done, and Brave should be ready. Still, comeback is just quick enough.
I mean, they keep gifting comeback 1v1s. That's not what you want to do. A dash into sight. I mean, he still managed to get another. I mean, every grand final.
Down.
I mean, BBL PCIFIC have lost at least 1. Kushner has made BBL PCIFIC lose 1. That player being Loiter that we spoke about earlier.
In both teams' preparation for this game, there was so much conditioning mid last time. Now you're just seeing fights taken on both extremities. Eternal Fire winning the early ones means that they have a great A setup to just stop mid, as we're seeing this fight taken by them yet again. Anima beyond the smoke. It's the kind of first kill that Eternal Fire would have been dreaming of the last time they played this. Once again, really important detail there in terms of the micro contact. There's a player peeking off. How many times was it just one person in mid last time? I'm so happy to see that they've actually highlighted that and made an improvement.
100%. But this is the full Cypher setup. Camp gone, still the traps survive, which is giving that passive information to Eternal Fire. As he repositioning towards CT, gets Rose. And now the last two remaining of Kreven and Loiter have to try and find 4, one of which is an operator that's standing at the back of A site.
Oh, that trap broken. Eternal Fire need to be a little bit more heads up in terms of these angles. You've still got Anima waiting in the wings from Vent. He can very quickly activate with a full utility belt. Kreven, nothing left. Split it, so just Rose with the Seekers in Vent. Stunned up, Cider wins the fight. And with the first of those duelists gone on this re-engage to the site, the first Inquisition that they make through main, Eternal Fire happy to invest the Armageddon to confirm the round that everyone dies.
That could push players back, but it comes down to these duels, and already Eternal Fire have got the first. Larocque, this rocket doesn't hit uncharacteristically, but the salvos do, and Cider looks to grab Eternal Fire, drag them over the line, and get their first map win since the Grand Finals of Turkey.
And put to bed all of the bad news that they've received from BBL up until this point. Cushion has done brilliant work to send them in motion, but can't close the final by himself just yet.
Paranoia is not hit.
Brave can't either.
Oh, it did hit. It's just the spam that's worked out from Loiter. And when a round you think that should be over the line, Eternal Fire on a shaky peg here. BBL PCIFIC looking to plant safe, and Kreven's trying to find something back in the conversation to make this a 2v2.
Oh, there's no utility here on BBL PCIFIC though. Anima has the stun, the aftershock to work with. Backs against the wall if you don't want this map to end here and now.
Cider's got 4, on for the ace to finish out the map, but I'm sure Eternal Fire will be just happy to find Loiter, a player who has managed to clutch up time and time and time again. There's no way, there's a chance he can do it once more, but it will not happen as he gets the last kill, and Eternal Fire get their first map against BBL PCIFIC.
Should be enough.
Nice molly to deny the peek from backside, although comeback is already there. Brave needs to stand tall but can't quite do it, and Kushner can't deal with the cage that's been put in front either. A nice lineup for a one-way, and now isolated because of the one-way towards CT, able to fight his way out into a 3v1. Now Rose has to try and find
some of that early utility invested to clear out this space. Izzy follows up for a second.
That's insane. I mean, it doesn't matter if you've got heavy shields if you can just click the head. Run it back there for Larocque to go and clear the site if needed, but I think at this point BBL PCIFIC will probably be hoping that they can find a pick before they can commit any ultimates towards this map, towards this round. Sorry. Shock, and it's spot on, and that's that one pick that we were talking about. At the same time, Kreven's walked all the way on towards B and unlocked it.
Of his own, as Larocque is still holding on to this run it back. Just going to invest it to clear the cross, and now you don't expect Kreven to be close. Izzy has his own ult online. It's not going to come in at the right time.
Brilliant, and now the haunt as well can be used, although Kushner might have played just a little bit too early here.
Player advantage, BBL PCIFIC once again. The gap in the armor, the B site post plant. Contact cannot be taken. Larocque instead fights forwards. Cushion have found, and with fire at the feet of the walk up to Hall. Up and be 4 or 5. Retake coming in. All hands on deck for Eternal Fire.
Traded out equal at the moment. That AWP is still going to provide an issue to come back in on, but Kushner's rifle is providing an issue as well. A lot of players being hit there. The haunt haven't been able to highlight. I think that was comeback, and Anima as well being supportive here. Now, the more players towards back of sight need to try and hold the line, but it's disconnected by the blaze wall of Larocque, and Kreven getting rid of Anima. We're down to 3v3, an operator which has to retake as well. Another thing to note, Cider caught, Larocque trying to re-clear back towards Art, make sure there's no flanks coming in, and Loiter even escaping towards main. Brave back in, Kreven still not thought about being able to take away the Astra utility, and now the op of the Yoru has to come up clutch. From that point of view, and they can also keep an eye on main as the run it back comes in. Brave is the only one to get rid of it. Actually, the siege was spot on, but the bullets have not been. The rifles of Eternal Fire have not been hitting. The Cosmic Divide able to get the spike down safely, and BBL PCIFIC, well, they'll set up the perfect post plan because they have time to do it.
And with Brave dead as well, you're missing the Cosmic Divide coming back into your retake here. Down by 2 players. I think that's already more than enough, but still, Eternal Fire will give this a go.
Got to try. Well, they've already got the first, can't quite get the second. Still a massive deficit in which to try and fight back from. An Eternal Fire, you can see already thinking about how to escape. Kreven caught, and there's the escape all the way back. Defensive Cosmic Divide in which to work with. Kushner can't quite get to the position he was looking to. Armageddon invested to stop the push coming in, and still Brave can't capitalise off the back of it. Anima's spam will. Trying to deny the spike plan, which they cannot do. A 3 versus 4 retake with Larocque so low and no utility in which to bring his health back up.
Well, Izzy's on the op, does still have 2 flashes to try and set up the rest of his team from this position. The salvos have gone in, the peak only just coming out from Kreven, but that is a lot of the control lost for BBL PCIFIC, and the man count equal.
Yeah, that one pick was able to bring the dimensional drift online. Here we go, straight in.
Yeah, it's huge that they used that utility as well, because otherwise players could have rotated off. Brave standing his ground on the B site, but BBL PCIFIC responding kind. And the pre-fire from Loiter will finish off Izzy before he gets half his chance to make that response. Laboured from Loiter, but just about clean enough for BBL PCIFIC to send themselves within touching distance of that 7th round. Anima will attempt, but an attempt is all it is right now. Nothing given away, no favours from BBL PCIFIC, and so as Anima stews in the silent sight, he will be walking into Lloyd by himself.
A little bit of delay coming through the Astra utility. Everybody's here now. The blaze wall. I somehow allowed Loiter to spam another player out. And there's still more damage coming their way. Eternal Fire can't hold their positions, or maybe they can. As BBL PCIFIC go one too far. And he talked about 50 kills.
Like similar position.
30 seconds left.
An attempt to try and make it happen again here. Loiter creeping in the site, still yet to spot either player. Rounds the corner, should have been spotted by Anima. One of them. Tournament MVP in line for that kind of credibility, but only 1 kill just doesn't cut it. Eternal Fire bouncing back into the second half. Cider is sharp. 4 versus 2 situation, half the players. And to scramble back through solo is not something Larocque will do.
Come back solo through CT. In fact, sorry, Larocque close by. They do have one flash in which to work with, one slide, but it goes a miss, and so
through spawn. The cavalry arriving, but not quite in time.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to do much damage here. Brave's not looked to the right position, just assumed no one would be there, and I said they wouldn't be able to do much damage. They basically... Frizzy.
Visual clutter off the screen. Back turn Kushner whips around, head on a swivel. And the notice given by the smoke means that he has just enough time to set up. Loiter in the backside. Once again, we look to the 17-year-old to support the rest of BBL PCIFIC. Come back by his side. A potent pair, and the blend which battles back against the fire. Smouldering remain of it. Brave to try and cut off a rotate. That is your biggest chance back into this one. And he has taken the first and the second.
But the thing
10
is,
seconds
though,
left.
is he's left
Last
Anima
player
all alone
standing.
on site,
Spike
which
down
allowed
A.
Larocque to deny the spike plan. In terms of actually holding the site, though, there's players here. They're wanting to play and wait. The volley already used to deny getting into the
Spike
site.
down. Blocking vision.
Oh,
This is a
they've been
difficult
pulled away.
one though. The split coming in.
Yeah, the players have been caught off guard. Rose just looks away, almost gets caught off guard himself, and now stuck on the B site with comeback as support. And I mean, an Eternal Final want to come here. They certainly do. Using the ultimates to get in, it doesn't work out. A comeback sent it. Discipline not there, and Rose very, very low, crying for support of Kreven to come through CT. Already used the intel dart up, and Kreven
Spike
activates
down,
at the right time. A
Last
2
player
versus 2. Make it 1 versus 2 for the
remaining.
captain to try and win. 2 shots in which he can possibly use. Waiting, comebacks up.
Spike down
He
A.
cracks the whip, goes silent, but just for a moment in A main.
Gotta go. You want to
Response is there from Eternal Fire. The Cosmic Divide coming in as a statement of intent. The execution set in motion. Rose looking to try and respond. He's one of the first that can take the fight. He wins it. Phantom locking it down. And just a little pocket from him to play in. Larocque just the bait on the end of the string.
enemy
Rose
remaining.
reeling in more success. And with Kreven in a comfortable position back sight behind their own ultimate.
When needed. You've seen Loiter and the rest. Cages popped open to hold control of backside, but Kushner has found Rose, the opposite intel agent. And well, at the same time, the Euro that was getting spammed out is able to survive. Cosmic Divide in, already having to use the grab. Well, Anima getting one back. It's been all Eternal Fire right now. The dimensional drift giving away information, and they're still trapped on the side. Loiter's got 3. It's Carnage. Larocque now, and a 1 versus 1 against Cider. Their time's so low. A right click is what will win it.
Eternal Fire had limited weaponry. Bad worksman blames his tools. Even without his, Cider in a decent position. Contact taken. Larocque flashing back through. BBL PCIFIC trading down the numbers. Still a man in front as it stands. A site under siege. Kreven towards Secret.
Face your fear.
Not yet forfeiting backside control, caught
30 seconds
by
left.
the Nightfall and the Cam. All of this is delay. Look at the rotations already come through before Eternal
Cam's
Fire
still
can
up.
think about a spike plan.
Spike
Cam
planted.
is still up. Kreven can use that as a retake cam to see where the players go.
He's in the walls, having a look. Util combo into the corner. Wasn't even required. It was just the molly and the spam from Kreven. Brave, without the gravity well, forced to use the stun instead. And as good as he is, and we know him to be, you're asking a little too much, maybe no. Down to the classic, time not enough. Fire need 4 more of these to force another overtime in which they've been credible so far. And it starts off as they exactly would have hoped. Still players lodged in backside. One of them Kreven. 4 players in front, still playing around the smoke, overlooked.
All about it, and it's positioned himself on pillar.
Brilliant clearance though, because
30
is he
seconds left.
TPing behind the ultimate in progress? Means that as the final bolt flares off from Rose's ult, he's not been caught. Still a man down though, Eternal Fire. Back into the retake. BBL PCIFIC with tools to work with. Stun, shocks, combos to send towards that default plant as soon as it is attempted. And Rose is the one that comes up with the big play. Cider, the captain, the opposite way. Smashed in the mirror duel by his opposite number. 13 to 10.
BBL PCIFIC, and there's 4 from Eternal Fire. 8 players on this side of the map, ready to brawl with one another, and still the first kill hasn't been struck until Izzy finally gets rid of Loiter. A nice little light up of a ping from the info dart, gets another, but Eternal Fire come back twofold. Now Kreven still holds on to the backside, a nice kill clean. We'll put Brave into the backside, catching Rose off guard. Remember the last 3 pistol rounds have been won by Eternal Fire, and it looks like the 4th will do the same.
Just waiting for it to be confirmed to come in with Kreven on 2.
The shot was always a problem that Eternal Fire were able to go do against Mandatory, and they'll know exactly how to deal against it with BBL PCIFIC still not cleared, and still they're able to get value from it. Anima gets a rifle, but trying to bring it out is what costs them their lives. Kushner now coming in late into this one, and
30
both
seconds
players
left.
are already doubled up.
He's attempting to cut off rotation, and for that reason you can see BBL PCIFIC cognizant of the fact he could be coming from spawn. Long is where he'll make his reprisal, but 2 players in the corner. Will he check for both?
I have retrieved the spike.
Spike, I mean,
10
might not
seconds
even
left.
need to check, right? Try and attempt the spike plant, see if he can beat out where the players are from, gets flashed, gets stunned, and gets...
But not enough to stop the play from coming in, so Paranoia's traded and still we're at deadlock. BBL PCIFIC then begin to flood back out through the cage, and as the curtain falls, so do the Eternal Fire players. Kreven, Killer, Cold. Yeah, Eternal Fire backed up towards spawn here. Woo, belting shot from Brave. See site opened up for business. No quick route for the spike to make its way over though. Comeback looking to cut off rotation. Is he actually sticking his neck out in mid to make this clear? So Comeback will collect, and Pacific can move into another retake situation with numbers.
All missiles away.
That's the big thing, with numbers and the Rolling Thunder as well. Well, that suppression goes off. You see it already being brought out, used, Comeback on for the ace with 30 points of health. He knows exactly where to go. Cider all the way from long and has already used the salvos. Not much in which to work with. Sure, there's a concussion grenade, but there's also a spray. Oh my god! To Gary, Jesse's trying to go further than that though, and goes through CT. No Cypher traps in which to worry about now. And that spike should come out of Garage pretty easily, as Izzy, as well as a drone, clears out the full of sight. Comeback though, against Cider, wins out. We're back to 4v4.
It was the one weakness in terms of the setup, but when it comes to how you want to play this, BBL PCIFIC have been unbeatable in those retakes when they've had the opportunity.
Here comes the opportunity, but the opportunity goes. Rolling Thunder to delay. More time being bought by Eternal Fire. Trying to look elsewhere. Look, you see Loiter starting to come through Garage, but he's not going to get the opportunity to where this is going to be. And the utility being used to try and delay Armageddon to clear out sight. And still Eternal Fire haven't made real inroads. And when they do, BBL PCIFIC
That we look to support them.
as he said, stunned his hits. Still Kreven holds on to the back side. Comeback walked into a back site that was infested with a turn. Hear him dropping back and giving up. Positions on the side, so you thought. Caught in transition, and the rest of the players are here. What more can be said? You try and hit the brick wall, but the brick wall will stand tall. Now Cider. I mean, what has he even got? Had to pause it. The found Comeback, but just because you find Comeback doesn't mean you'll get the kill. It will eventually, just before Comeback can make his escape. Rose's Hunter's Fury tries to get a trade out indirectly. All it means is there's going to be less for when BBL PCIFIC come back in. The site should have been free. Kreven loses out, and we end up with an advantage towards Eternal Fire.
Brilliant mid-rounding from the Fire. And finding that kill as well should set them up nicely coming into post. BBL PCIFIC want to be quick to react.
There's flooding back out. LaRock just thought it was going to be enough for the Eternal Fire to get up.
Bit of a gamble. Moves over towards A, re-clearing the B space. Rose solo. Oh, it's ugly. Makes an absolute meal of the fight as it takes place. Kreven backfilling that space. Sewer control again, just so imperative to BBL PCIFIC's success, but that is where he will slide on down into obscurity. Numbers for the attacking force, but it's crunch time. 30 seconds yet again. And it is LaRock of all players with a full belt of utility, the first line of defense, who has to hold the line on A.
There's a Rolling Thunder as well to come through, and LaRock will not be able to escape this. Stuck in no man's land, but with the support of Loiter, that just unfortunately will not be good enough. Stunned out, forced out. It's up to you, Comeback, to save this round for Pacific.
Clears the first player. Is he out in the open from one position? To lever the odds in his favor. Get up close and personal. That's exactly what Kreven will do on the back line. Secure enough for now, but 3 players closing in. Back to the wall, inside his own cage. Kreven gets yet another kill with a BBL Classic in his hand. It's Pacific that move a player in front.
But how much time has he wasted? Look how much utility is still in the pockets of Pacific.
Flash coming through, and that's what will tee up comeback. Backside Rose holding the line. BB completely giving up the A site, which leaves both Kushner and Brave in defense of this one. Former BBL players getting chased down by the next generation. Brave to stand his ground. That allows for Izzy to join up. The support is there. Oh, goodbye, Rose. In his drone, calling up God. Meets him in the end. Oh, all of this has happened. The over-rotation has given access to the A site. Kreven, the wedge right in the middle. This kill will be everything, and that is now the round favoured for the attacking force.
Not only that, they set up the perfect post plan, as you do with that amount of time. They've got a deep trap to give any information of players coming out of CT. You've got your breach in the perfect position. You've got Kreven deep to maybe play for late. This is sublime for Pacific in the post.
Yeah, another 10 seconds or so before Anima even gets access to that stun, and with it from Helen, a flash to throw on top. Larok can lay this on thick. Aftershock does come in, but doesn't clear everything that they needed. It's a move in from the main side. Defender spawn 1v1. Larok!
Already the entry being caught by comeback. The op not discovered. Finally it is dashed out. Izzy goes for a double peek. Can't quite get the next, but he is noted by Kreven.
Player behind revealed, but Izzy standing in front, not standing tall enough. Anima a couple of kills, but still, it's Kreven who is standing, and Rose by his side. They'll keep moving forward. Hand of the fire once more, Anima. This is a real last gasp attempt. While he has managed to down the spike and can hold the cross, he's unsupported as Cider is only just moving into the drone now.
Most players being tagged up. That's Anima, and the paranoia comes in at a perfect time. Trying to push and make BBL uncomfortable, but they seem to thrive whenever there's a chance. Kushner with the opportunity, and Brave Stinger will not hit. Cider's on the other side of the map. He will not be close enough to deny this spike plan, and he'll have to go up against Comeback's op before he's even able to get onto the site.
But in this key moment of the round, look at the discipline. Comeback right between the doors, Brave. Big moment. We're going to need to see a whole lot more of that from Eternal Fire, as BBL Pacific are almost home and dry. The derby not yet in the bag, as Izzy claps back yet another. Loiter is still alive, still contributing kills. Larok's managed to slip through the net here. Ult clearing out both corners. Now they know Kushner 2 more, but still it's Loiter in another clutch situation. And with the spike on his back, he can TP. Which site is it? Eternal Fire only now know.
Last ping just catches Loiter out. A TP to see long. Both players are isolated here. Loiter will get a chance to win it.
Split up from one another. Loiter's the wedge down the middle. He will walk to Garage unguarded. Brave has a smoke, but that's now dropped into the connective position, so the spike back site is where he's expected.
Anima holding on to utility.
Brave peeking off the back of it, stun separates, still finds the result. Rose's ult coming in as Overwatch. The rest of BBL Pacific played in by their captain. He holds the torch, and they will follow. As experienced as everyone on Eternal Fire is, they won't fail to face check in an opportunity like that. So it comes onto the Cypher player to stop it all. It's been quite the wait to get back to an inter-regional event, but when BBL Pacific arrive, they are ready for it. Kings in waiting for their ascendancy to the throne. This might just be the year that the princes become king.